My parents told me, don't even show up to your sister's engagement party. I'm standing in the kitchen, my hands trembling as I hold the vegetable knife, watching my mother inspect every dish I've just prepared for tonight's trial dinner. Stacy Ellis, 28 years old, freelance marketer from Philadelphia, financially independent, but still feeling like an 8-year-old whenever I come home. Stacy, this is too salty, Mom says, pushing the salad plate away. You know Madison can't handle salt. Madison, my perfect older sister, sits at the dining table scrolling through her phone, occasionally nodding in agreement with every criticism from our parents. She's about to get engaged to David, the dream lawyer boyfriend that my parents can't stop praising. You always do this, Dad chimes in without looking up from his newspaper. Never think things through. With Madison's engagement party coming up, are you sure you can handle this? I swallow the bitterness. For the past 3 months, I've turned down 2 major marketing contracts worth $15,000 each to dedicate time to planning my sister's engagement party. I personally contacted vendors, compared prices, and even used $8,000 of my personal savings to put down deposits on the venue and catering. I can handle it, I say quietly, trying to keep my voice steady. Madison finally looks up from her phone. Stacy, I hope you understand this is the most important day of my life. If you mess this up... Madison doesn't need to worry, Mom interrupts. She turns to me with cold eyes. Stacy, if you don't do this right, don't even think about showing up to the party. You always cause problems for this family, and this time I won't forgive you. Those words hit like a slap. I'm used to being compared, criticized, but this time is different. They're threatening to completely exclude me from the family. I nod, not believing I'm still trying to appear obedient. Yes, I understand. After my parents and Madison leave, I sit alone in the messy kitchen, staring at the engagement party invitation on the table. My hands shake as I pick it up. For the first time in my life, I ask myself, should I keep sacrificing, or should I finally stand up for myself? 2 years ago, when our family's grocery store in Erie, Pennsylvania was about to go bankrupt, I turned down a $35,000 marketing contract to save it. I spent 6 months working 14 hours a day, used $1,000 from my savings, and ate instant noodles to fund the store's marketing campaign. The result? Revenue increased 400% in 6 months, from $8,000 a month to $32,000. My parents paid off their debts and expanded. But when I announced the success, Dad just said, "Good, now focus on your personal life. Look at Madison, 26, and has a stable boyfriend." No thanks. No recognition, just comparison to Madison, who had the lawyer boyfriend and corporate job. Why can't you be more like Madison? Became the family refrain. Madison has a boyfriend. I'm single. Madison has a real job. I'm freelance and unstable. The pattern was clear. The harder I tried, the more invisible I became. Every success was redirected into comparison with Madison. I wasn't a daughter to be proud of, but a reminder of what I hadn't achieved. When I moved back to Philadelphia to rebuild my career, the damage was done. My income fluctuated from $2,500 to $6,000 per month, with no sick leave or health insurance. But I kept building my client base. Then Madison announced her engagement. "Stacy has to handle the arrangements," Mom declared. "Madison is busy, and you have experience with events." Not a request, a declaration. And I agreed, hoping maybe this time they'd see my value. But sitting in that kitchen, I realized I wasn't looking for recognition anymore. I was looking for a way out. This engagement party felt different. I held all the cards, the vendor contracts, the deposits, the relationships. For the first time, I had real power in a family situation. The question was, did I have the courage to use it? Engagement party planning became a full-time unpaid job. Every day, Madison sent 15-20 messages with new demands. I want Ecuador roses, not local roses. The band needs a saxophone. David loves jazz. The photographer has to shoot celebrities. Each request had a massive price tag. Ecuador Roses, $2,500. Jazz Band, $4,000. Celebrity Photographer, $6,000 for 4 hours. I had budgeted $15,000 total. These 3 items alone, $2,500. Madison, we're almost out of budget, I texted. Stacy, this is my engagement, not some birthday party. Find a way. Find a way. As if I had a magic wand for money. I cut corners from my own life, canceled gym membership, 89-month, switched phone plans, ate ramen instead of groceries. I even sold my MacBook Pro for $1,800 to fund the photographer. 2 days later, Madison called during my client meeting. Stacy, cancel the jazz band. David prefers classical quartet. I'd paid a $1,500 non-refundable deposit. The party was 18 days away. Madison, the deposit isn't refundable. Then that's a learning experience. Next time, read contracts carefully. What quartet do you want? Philadelphia Orchestra members. $5,500 for the evening. $5,500 plus the $1,500 lost deposit. $7,000 total for music. That evening, the family held final planning. I presented the breakdown. $2,400 total. Stacy, Dad said, you've overspent seriously. These are Madison's requests. You should have said no. Should have said no. But every time I said no, they accused me of not supporting family. I'll cover the difference, I said. To cover $8,400 overage, I'd need to borrow $5,000 on credit cards and drain my emergency fund. For an event I might not even attend if I messed up. That night, surrounded by bills and contracts, I thought, what if I let it all fall apart? The thought felt liberating. 3 days before the engagement party, I woke up at 3 a.m. with complete clarity. I had spent 28 years trying to earn love from people who might not be capable of giving it. Now I had power over contracts, deposits, and vendors. I didn't want to destroy Madison's happiness, but I wanted them to understand the consequences of treating someone like a doormat. My plan was simple but effective. Legal withdrawal. First, I reviewed all the contracts. Most had cancellation clauses within 72 hours with partial refunds. I had paid for everything under my name to have better control over vendors, since my credit was better than Madison's. At 6 a.m., I started making phone calls. Hi, this is Stacy Ellis regarding the Ellis engagement party this Saturday. I need to discuss contract cancellation. First, the florist. Ecuador roses worth $2,500. Ms. Ellis, per our contract, you can cancel with 72-hour notice for a 60% refund. $1,500 back. Please proceed with cancellation and process the refund to the original payment method. Next, the celebrity photographer. Mr. Johnson, I need to cancel Saturday's booking due to a family emergency. I'm sorry to hear that. Per our agreement, 72-hour cancellation gets you a 70% refund minus processing fees. $4,200 back from the original $6,000. The classical quartet came next. Philadelphia String Quartet. This is Susan speaking. Hi, Susan. This is Stacy Ellis. I need to cancel Saturday's booking for the Ellis engagement party. Oh, no. Is everything okay? Family circumstances have changed. Can we proceed with cancellation per contract terms? Of course, dear. You'll receive a 65% refund, so $3,575 back from your $5,500 payment. By noon, I had canceled. Ecuador Roses, $1,500 refund. Celebrity Photographer, $4,200 refund. String Quartet, $3,575 refund. Specialty Catering Add-ons, Raw Bar Premium Wines, $2,100 refund. Luxury Linens and Centerpieces, $1,800 refund. Total refunds, $1,375. I kept the basic venue, $8,000, standard catering for 150 people, $4,500, and a local photographer, $1,200. Total remaining cost, $13,700 instead of the original $2,300. But I didn't tell anyone. Instead, I drafted an email. Dear Madison, Mom, and Dad, effective immediately, I am withdrawing from all engagement party planning responsibilities. Over the past 3 months, I have contributed $15,000 of my personal savings and declined $3,000 worth of client work to focus on this event. Despite this sacrifice, I have been consistently criticized, dismissed, and threatened with exclusion from the family event I was planning. All vendors have been notified of my withdrawal. Venue and basic catering remain booked and paid through Saturday. Additional services have been canceled with partial refunds processed to my accounts, totaling a 130 in $75. Madison, you now have 72 hours to rebook any services you feel are essential. I recommend staying within the 13175 budget from refunds. I will not be attending the engagement party. Not because I was excluded, but because I am choosing to exclude myself from situations where I am not valued. Stacy. I scheduled the email to send at 6 p.m. Friday, exactly 24 hours before the party. Enough time to panic, but not enough to fully recover. Friday evening, I was packing bags to drive to Asheville, NC, a place I'd researched as a new base for my freelance career. Cost of living was 40% lower than Philadelphia, but quality of life was higher. I'd already had preliminary conversations with 3 potential clients in the area. At 6 p.m. sharp, my phone exploded with calls and texts. Madison, Stacy WTF? Call me now. Mom, Stacy Elizabeth Ellis, you call home immediately. Dad, this is unacceptable behavior. Fix this mess. 17 missed calls in 20 minutes. I poured a glass of wine, sat on my couch with packed bags by the door, and watched my phone light up with incoming calls. For the first time in my life, I didn't answer. At 8 p.m., I received a text from Madison. Stacy, please, I'm sorry if we were too demanding. Can we talk? The party is tomorrow. Too little, too late. At 9:30 p.m., another text from a number I didn't recognize. Hi, Stacy, this is David, Madison's fiance. I know I don't know you well, but Madison is crying. Can you please call her? We can work something out. David seemed nice. I actually felt bad for him, but this wasn't about him. Finally, at 11 p.m., I texted Madison. The vendors I kept will provide a lovely, intimate party. Focus on celebrating your engagement, not on impressing people. Congratulations to you and David. Then I turned off my phone and slept soundly for the first time in 3 months. Saturday morning, I loaded my car and drove south, wondering what chaos was unfolding in Philadelphia. I turned on my phone at 2 p.m. from a Virginia rest stop. 47 missed calls, 134 texts, 23 voicemails. The first message was from David. Stacy, the party is actually beautiful. Simple, elegant, exactly what we wanted. Thank you for keeping the important parts. Madison realizes how much work you put in. A drama timeline emerged through other messages. Saturday, at 10 a.m., Madison discovers no roses, no quartet, no celebrity photographer. Saturday, Thasser's 12 p.m., local photographer available for $800 instead of $6,000. Someone's cousin plays guitar instead of the quartet. Saturday, 2 p.m., guests arrive to an intimate, understated event. Madison's best friend Jessica texted, "Girl, you are genius. This party is 100x better than Madison's usual over-the-top events. Everyone's actually talking and enjoying themselves instead of being impressed by expensive stuff." David looked so relaxed. Madison stopped crying and started smiling when she realized people are having genuine fun. More updates. Saturday, 4 p.m., Madison's roommate posts Instagram praising the authentic, intimate celebration. Saturday, 2 or 6 p.m., Great Aunt Helen declares it the loveliest engagement party she's ever attended. Saturday, 8 p.m., Madison posts, "Sometimes the best celebrations are the simplest ones, where authentic et sarfi are grateful." From the family group chat, Jessica screenshot, Madison. Guys, I need to be honest. This party is perfect. I was so stressed about impressing people that I forgot what engagement parties are for. Celebrating love. Stacy did the right thing. Mom, don't defend her behavior. Madison. Mom, I spent months making impossible demands. Stacy sacrificed her work, her savings, her sanity for us. And we threatened to exclude her from the family if she didn't perform miracles. That's not okay. Dad, she still should have communicated better. Madison, she tried to. We didn't listen. Sunday morning, Madison called from my Asheville hotel. Stacy, please don't hang up. How was the party? Perfect. Exactly what an engagement party should be. Intimate, personal, focused on David and me instead of showing off. I'm glad. Stacy, I owe you the biggest apology. I turned into a bridezilla before I was even engaged. I made impossible demands, spent your money like it was nothing, and treated you like an event planner instead of a sister. Her voice sounded genuine for the first time. I realized something last night. You always fix everything for our family. Instead of thanking you, we just expect more. That's not fair. No, it's not. Are you coming home? I am home, I said, looking at the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm in Asheville. I'm starting over here. What? Why Asheville? Because here, I'm not the family fixer. I'm not the disappointing daughter. I'm just Stacy, and that's enough. Long pause. Stacy, I love you. I know I don't show it right, but I do. I love you too, Madison. But love isn't enough if it comes with impossible expectations. Can we try again, differently? Maybe, someday, when I'm ready. After hanging up, I sat on the hotel balcony, feeling something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. My phone buzzed with a text from Mom. Stacy, we need to talk. Come home. I deleted the message without responding. For the first time, my family's crisis was not my emergency. Asheville embraced me completely. Within a month, I found an apartment, $950 a month with mountain views, joined a co-working space, $200 a month, and landed my first client, a craft brewery needing rebranding. I need someone who understands small business and won't oversell me expensive shit, brewery owner Mike said. That's exactly my approach, I replied. Project fee, $8,000 for complete rebranding. Word spread quickly in Asheville's tight-knit business community. Within 2 months, I had steady clients. Restaurants, outdoor gear shops, art galleries. My income stabilized at $6,500 a month, consistent, with much lower stress and cost of living. In December, I received a package from Philadelphia. Inside, a photo from Madison's engagement party showing guests laughing around the simple arrangements I'd left. Note attached, Stacy, this is my favorite photo. Everyone looks so happy and natural. You were right. The simple version was better. Thank you. Love, Madison. January brought an unexpected call from David. Madison and I want to plan our wedding ourselves this time. Small, intimate, within budget. We learned our lesson. But we'd love if you could attend as a guest, not a planner. Would you consider coming? I'll think about it. Stacy, you changed how Madison thinks about what's important. She's different now. Better. February brought breakthrough. The tourism board offered me a $45,000 contract for comprehensive marketing strategy. Your approach balances authenticity with growth potential. That's exactly what our community needs, a board member said. I drove to my favorite overlook. 5 months ago, I was debt-ridden and stress-filled. Now I had a thriving business, financial stability, and self-respect. That evening, I decided about Madison's wedding. I texted David. I'll be there, as a guest, not a planner. Looking forward to celebrating you both. Sometimes the best gift you can give your family is showing them who you become when you choose yourself first. June arrived with Carolina summer warmth. I drove to Philadelphia with clear boundaries. Hotel booked, car rented, nice dress packed for guest attire. Madison's wedding was exactly as promised. Intimate backyard ceremony with 40 guests, string lights, potluck dinner, acoustic guitar. Madison looked radiant in a simple white dress, focused entirely on David. During the reception, Madison pulled me aside. Planning this wedding myself taught me how much work you did for the engagement party, every vendor call, every detail. I had no idea. You know now. I understand why you left. We treated you like hired help instead of family. I'm sorry. Are you happy in Asheville? Very happy. I'm building something that's mine. Dad approached while I got punch. Your mother and I have been talking. We were wrong. We put too much pressure on you to fix everything. That wasn't fair. No, it wasn't. Your business success in Asheville, we're proud. We should have said that sooner. Mom approached later, awkward but trying. Your apartment looks nice from Madison's photos. Thank you. And your clients seem nice. They are. I enjoy my work. We watched Madison and David dance. She's happy, Mom observed. She is. Simple suits her. Maybe simple suits all of us better. The drive back to Asheville felt different. I wasn't running away anymore, but choosing my direction. Monday at the co-working space, colleague Sarah asked about the wedding. How was family time? Better than expected, but I'm glad to be home. Home. You really settled in here. For the first time, I feel like I belong somewhere. That afternoon, the tourism board emailed an extension. Year-long contract worth $85,000 to expand statewide. This time last year, I was broke, stressed, desperate for family approval. Now I had financial security, professional respect, personal peace. Madison called that evening. David and I decided on a simple Outer Banks trip instead of expensive resort. We're learning to prioritize differently. That sounds perfect. Would you be open to me visiting Asheville? Just to see your life there, understand what makes you so happy. I'd like that, but you visit as my sister, not to fix or change anything. Just sisters. After the call, I walked to my favorite coffee shop, ordered lavender latte, sat watching people move at Asheville's sustainable pace. My phone buzzed. New client inquiry from Nashville, music venue marketing. As I typed my response, I reflected on that dinner 3 months ago. The woman shaking with suppressed anger felt like a different person. That woman believed her worth depended on others' approval. This woman knows her worth is inherent. That woman sacrificed everything for family harmony. This woman maintains relationships that honor her boundaries. That woman was afraid of disappointing people. This woman is more afraid of disappointing herself. The woman who drove south from Philadelphia in March was running from something. The woman living in Asheville in June is running toward something. A life authentically her own. And for the first time in 28 years, that feels like exactly enough.